Trying to make sure. Stop picking up iPad audio because I'm trying to be a little bit bold this time. Doing a little, just playing a little something while I watch it at the same time. Hopefully, this does not backfire on me whatsoever. I highly doubt it since I can see the feed thing somewhere anyway. But you never know with this. But welcome everybody. Wonder how this is gonna go. We we got two repeats here from some time ago. Whenever whatever that some time ago was. I try to make sure this thing does not pick up audio from anything. Once again, I'm stuck with a dud with in terms of the goal lamp. So there will not be a goal lamp going on. But I think there is one thing I forgot about. Yeah, I forgot about that light there. I can still flash this one over here. I can still flash that light there. So it'll be somewhat fine. I just so I've been enjoying my time with NTE. See this anime GTA thing. Seems like it won't pick up. Also, Orlando's done Miami and Florida Derby apparently. So we're going to be taking a look at starters in just a moment in formations. They'll reveal the formations, I'm sure. I got the feed over here. Okay, it still someone picks it up. But as long as it doesn't like pick up, I should be fine. Thinking an angle like this could work. That way I can see three screens at once. Or four screens at once, but anyway. St. Louis. Starting in at net is Roman Berkey. And in at net for Austin is Brad Stuver. So we got Berkey and Stuver. Go ahead and add it in terms of the netting. But as you can tell from the record here, not so high here. Only one win total for St. Louis City at this point of the season. And it's been a little bit middling for Austin as well. So, yeah. Not exactly a great look. But mainly I'm gonna be doing an NT during this. Just some exploration stuff. It's been fun. I've already beaten the story on it. Or what's available of the story. It is still new. So there's not gonna be much story involved. But it has been fun. I've seen people try and compare it to Zenless Zone Zero, which I haven't really played. I wasn't really all that hooked with that one. I think I played it for like an hour or on a random day and then just never again. So yeah, not exactly what you'd want uh, for me to do if you're supposed to be live service based and free to play at that. At least these things are actually able to last longer. Because remember, Concord didn't even last a month. They only lasted like 2 weeks. Yeah. Remember when Concord was a thing? That definitely fell flat on itself. If you can believe it. I wonder who. Geez, that whole Sony saga sure does look juicy, don't it? Wonder what the equivalent of Concord would be in sports. Because somebody sure is starting to fall flat on their face as a team. No way. There wouldn't really be much of a Concord of sports. Because then it'd just be the New York Jets. Which, by the way, they're the lone team to have the longest playoff drought in in professional sports. Since the last time they made it was the 2011 NFL playoffs. If you don't remember how that playoff ended, that was the last time the Jets both won a playoff game and made the playoffs. Jesus, one of these birds is on quite the tall building here. You think there'd be an easier way, right? But yeah, I'm gonna have some booming business. Oh wait, did I actually miss something here? I think I missed a number here. Hold up. We gotta fix a number here real quick. It's not correct. It's not the correct color. There we go. We corrected it. Yay! Everything's back to how it should be. And we caught it just before the game could be played. Yeah, struggle for wins is one way to put it. Yeah, you can definitely say struggling to get wins. That's a light way to put it. Just a light way to do it. And now they're starting to go over the starting the formations that they're rolling out for the game. I got to where I don't trust the actual sheet thing over here with that. But it will be a traditional 4-4-2 for Austin. And so in hopes that Stuber can actually get some help. Yeah, Stuber's gonna need all the help he can get. Murky needs the help even more so. Because there's only been one win total for his squad. And it will be a traditional 3-4-3 for St. Louis. Murky is definitely gonna be fury. Is trying to hold in his fury right now. I'm sure I'm sure they have to roll with different starters throughout the season based on current competitions and stuff. But game is underway or not. Should be close to being underway. But yeah, Orlando had a stunner yesterday. DC won earlier today. A late scratch. Well then, not what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking there'd be a late scratch, apparently. But there is one. That'll bode well. Definitely gonna bode well. I can only imagine how much of a flop job this could generate. Man, that bird is in Quite the spot. That is quite the spot for that bird to be in. I'm trying to collect them for the witch house. Not as easy as it looks, okay? Okay, got it. So now, but they are about, they are heading out onto the pitch. So the match will actually start soon. They just gotta do one last commercial break before they do. This is the lone game that's being played at this time. This is the last game of the weekend that has to be played for MLS this time around. I have been going by the week format for 9 of these matches, but then I remember the frequency can fluctuate, and it happened during that ninth week. So I just started going by the match number or that we're covering. Just so that way it's easier instead of saying like a week 9.5. Well, apparently while they're on break, got this little anomaly thing and trying to keep me from doing any sort of coverage whatsoever. Might need to do something about that so I can get back, be able to cover the game properly. Maybe that anomaly is trying to remind me of the Cleveland Browns. Would be funny if it was. But yeah, it would have been funny, but no, no mentions of Cleveland Browns from that one. Maybe it was too embarrassed to admit that they were a Browns fan. Then again, I'd be embarrassed if I was a fan and a team that suffers myself. I would be embarrassed myself. But I do think the game is the match itself is on the verge of starting. But it should be starting here in a little bit. I don't know why they have to run all these commercials like this. Come on, guys, we ain't got these people ain't got all day. spam call from Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah, they're even using local area code number to try to pass off a scam. What else is new? Also, apparently, the Maple Leafs have hired John Jacob as the GM. Wow, that is quite the way. Ain't to go. That is quite the hire. Maple Leafs apparently just want to stay forever the way they are. I don't get the Maple Leafs, but that's all them. And it's apparently the win probability thing is barely in favor of St. Louis getting win number 2, but as we've seen, those odds change on a whim. They can change on a whim. So who even knows if that'll end up being the actual case by the end? Just ask anybody who had a 99.9% chance to win only to choke it. Oh, really? Those teams know a thing or two about how much of a joke probabilities can be. But the game is underway officially. So now I can actually refresh this thing. They always confuse the highlight stuff with me. But first half kicked off. Geez, there's a bird underground? They're really making this one tougher on me. But at least they got me some dress shoes for in the event that I need to have a sense of professionalism. Um, basically anywhere that requires a bit of professionalism. But yeah, Austin's going aggressive early. And no. Austin ain't able to get anything going early. They got stopped dead in their tracks. Just get up kinds of things that can go wrong. But yeah, Austin is the first to try to get a shot involved. And no! And there's not even a flag up. It's just a stronger kick. But yeah, it's just been a lot of standard stuff so far. I mean, you can't always expect a bunch of scoring this early into the game. There's gonna be a good chunk of defense. I'm just making sure I got something to keep me entertained with. So I can't remember if I need a 17 at the minimum or if it's a higher minimum. But yeah, there's been some wide shots, like usual. Like, a lot of players seem to only know how to kick wide a lot of the time. I never understood that. But nobody's gotten it in yet. So I'm doing exploration stuff during this. I ain't doing anything like a heist at, while this is going on. Okay, I'm actually one off it with 18 for the next one. And oh, that went way above. Probably went somewhere into the stands. That ball was kicked so high it might as well have been taken as a souvenir by a fan. And you know fans will try to get a souvenir of anything. Hey, I'm not wrong. But yeah, I'm not wrong about that. But yeah, oh, talking about how frustration when the same thing has been successful elsewhere. I wonder what that could mean. But you know how things go. It seems like I'm not getting as many buffers now. Go ahead, take your birds. your birds, okay? To take your birds. What am I doing on? Oh! Well, I can actually almost level up my tycoon again. The play is still going. And St. Louis is looking to deliver a bit of aggression of their own. And nope, they don't get it. Pretty much got all the hobbies unlocked at this point. A good look at the Pink Balls Heist thing. So, but yeah, from what I see here, just skip the entire. Let's see, skip the entire first floor. Go through the meeting table. Just proceed, take a right, enter the first door you encounter. Answer the rec phone question. Count how many there are in the room. Left portal. Yeah, there's the ref whistle. So I can actually just do this one just fine. But yeah, now I know how this thing actually works. Just skip the entire first floor. So basically, what I'm seeing here, but yeah, I don't know if, I mean, it's a 12-minute time limit. I'll probably be making quite a few runs anyway. It resets at in another 7 days. But it resets not tomorrow or Monday, but next Monday. Now, if anybody scores, I'll have to be careful that I'm trying to make sure nothing gets picked up. I guess I gotta turn that TV down for it to not pick up. But there's been a lot of. It's been pretty back and forth anyway. It's still early in the game over here. Austin has been the more aggressive of the two, all things considered. If you catch my drift. And another attempt that ends up offsides. I think it was offsides. That's not till the next minute anyway. So, whatever. But, yeah, it's just been a little back and forth here. Timer still continues, regardless. Yeah, just yeah, I'm just trying to focus on stuff here. But yeah, they're not giving me much right now. Man, man, there's still nothing. There's still no score here, or in case you guys wanted an update. There still hasn't been anything. There hasn't been anything yet. I'm just trying and keep track of his stuff right now. Yeah, I'm doing what I can here. I'm just trying to keep track of stuff here, it doesn't look like. Yeah, there just hasn't been anything. Just trying to. Yeah, I'm just taking a look and more misses everywhere. But you can definitely tell some things here. But yeah, there's just been all kinds of things with this. Just, but yeah, it's just been back and forth. Still nothing changed. Surprised we're even getting even 100. It not. It's just hard to tell at times. I think I had a frozen camera amidst this non scoring stuff. And No, no, it's not gonna. There's not gonna be any goals here. It's actually gonna be a yellow. It's a yellow card for all Miss. Some Granbira gets a yellow, and they also said had one for Facundo Torres. No, that's hand. It wouldn't count. It's a hand. If Bira's gonna get a yellow over that. Dane Torres is actually the coach. But yeah, Biro got the yellow for miss all that. I think but they also gave a yellow. Apparently, as they gave a yellow to Torres. Hmm. Yeah, I think my game. Think everything broke down on me there. But regardless of all that, there were some yellows sent out. And no, that's safe. Yeah, that was weird. I think that might have been a bug. It is new. Bugs are expected. No, but based on what I could read. Okay, so it was only just a yellow for Biro. Good to know. This is a yellow for Biro. So they did fix it in due time. It does also make use of fixed stats. So it looks like my best bet would just be to search all over the place for cards. And no. More saves everywhere. There's all kinds of saves here. So basically, what I should do on these early runs is just do as much exploring as possible. But at least I can do a better job at identifying things compared to some other stuff. But yeah, there's just been a whole load of nothing at this point. There looks like we got one, two, just two red phones in the room, huh? I only spot two red phones on top of all this. But yeah, it's just been lot of low scores. We're about to go into stoppage time with no score. But yeah, you can definitely tell there's just hard. And there still hasn't been much of anything here. And it's 2 minutes of stoppage time. And that's pretty much it for this this first period is pretty much gonna end like that. So yeah, it's at halftime now. Yes, there wasn't anything of note. So I guess nobody wanted to score at all. But yeah, they're just not. Yeah, they're just been no change at all. Like nobody's even scored yet. How's that happen? Think I can actually almost buy the next house, apparently. But I guess at this point I'd be better off. Fine. Then man, I'm starting to learn how this whole thing works. Yeah, there's a thunder after and stuff like normal. I'm gonna use this. So apparently there is one way, one, there is actually a particular way of me doing something. Oh, great. Yeah, it's just been a little bit of the traditional stuff. Nothing else to see here. So they're actually about to start the second half. I'll deactivate him a little bit here. I'm kind of stuck right now. Alright, now I can actually disable the thing here. Didn't expect the use of emotes. Still, welcome. But yeah, it's still been very much. We're just back from the second half. We haven't even had to make use of any specialty goal thing. We'll see if this actually remains scoreless, but doesn't exactly bode well. Doesn't exactly bode well to the either side. I am actually pretty close to getting the next level up again. Which I don't get anything new. Yeah, it's just been some saves and misses and yada yada. Yeah, there's just been the same old stuff, and apparently there was a yellow card handed out to Timo Baumgart. Jeez, these people, jeez, they just can't stop committing mistakes and stuff. Yeah, there's still been no change going on. Neither side really wants this. Huh. Neither side really wants this, do they? Part of me is wondering if I should hold off on the heist thing until it gets some notable updates. Because apparently there is. I how funny, how good it could be. Does seem to be not that great. But we still have yet to see a goal in this entire game. And like, it's just been the two goalies doing their jobs. And that is all. That is too much to the left. He ain't gonna be able to actually get that one. I'm pretty much moved on from the heist thing. It's just hard to actually commentate a game without a score like this when there's been next to nothing. But yeah, there's just been so many missed opportunities from both sides. And St. Louis is now doing some subs. They've done two of them. Lowen is coming off for Cordova. And McNaughton is coming off for Fall. Why, yes. Something to do with Fall. You bet $100 for Austin to win? Well, you better hope they score. You better hope they strike first, man. And you better hope that they strike first. Because they're gonna really need it. You better. Because it's been very defensive heavy here. Very defensive heavy. It's just been. It's been a thing. Fireworks? What fireworks? The only unless you count yellow cards as fireworks. What I don't know what the commentators are thinking. I just need to know what the commentators are talking about for fireworks. Can't just be solely yellows that constitute fireworks. I am not about to give myself a copyright. Yeah, I got a volume lower, but I ain't about to risk copyright. But yeah, it's still just been a lot of same old stuff. Wonder how much bit. Wonder how much of the fireworks has been revolving around a ball getting sent into the stands. Trying to bounce back and forth ain't easy. I just want to know what kind of. Yeah, it's They're on like what? This is minute 65 that's going on right now, and they still haven't found a way. Nobody's found a way to score yet. Like not even once. It's just been all over the place. Yeah, there's now we got ourselves a bit of a substitution for Austin here. Looks like it's just Sanchez coming off for Pereira. Unless they make another one. But I think it's just the one. Trying to make sure. Yeah, they're just continuing on. Yeah, it's just hard to. And trying to keep track of. Nobody just wants to score like at all. Like nobody does. And there's gonna be a yellow coming up, and that's for Chris Durkin. They've been handing out all sorts of yellows. They just hand out yellows, but they can't seem to hand out, out anything else, and nobody really wants to actually score. Or I don't, yeah, it's like a watching a literal tank job from two teams who really want to suck more, but don't want to give up a prime position. I don't, I don't get. It's hard to tell with these things. I I think it may have finally gone through. I think it might have finally happened. Trying to make sure I get to the right one. There it is. Goal for Austin. Something finally happened. I repeat, something actually happened. Something actually happened. And it's 1-0 Austin. Christian Maria, sorry, Ramirez. Sorry, Christian Ramirez manages to nail it in. Like just enough to stay on side. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Like that is quite, quite the thing. Never thought we actually see such a thing occur. It's hard to believe that someone finally scored. I pray that St. Louis doesn't tie it up and you'll get your money. Yeah, that's the thing you gotta hope for now. You just need to you just need to hope St. Louis doesn't score so that you can get your money. Because I won't be responsible. I'm not responsible for. Well, I think you get the idea at this point. Those, well, all that stuttering mess aside, yeah, when probability changed, yeah, of course it did, because now you got yourselves an actual goal. Of course the odds change whenever a goal is scored. That's how logic works. And seems like St. Louis has opted for a substitution. Perez came out for Joyer. Seriously though, I'm really so close to actually uh, being able to buy the next house, which is I wasn't even talking to you. Jeez, I swear, that thing just activates on its own for no reason. But another substitution and was made for St. Louis. Betcher did no that wasn't fall already in. Yeah, fall. There's a different fall with an F. Where what is this? I got the Fall Brothers. So Betcher comes out for the other fall. What's going on in St. Louis? I don't know why they got two people with the last name of Fall. Are they brothers or something? Do they want brothers on their team? There's just I just don't get this. I just don't get this. It's sometimes just hard to keep up with at this point. I swear, they just come up with the most random things to throw out there. All this, and I still gotta make sure I did the homework or that I was supposed to do. I just, it's like so many scenes function. I'm like, hey, look, we got a pretty solid brother here, and I think this other brother might be pretty good. Let's have them both. Kinda hard to tell for logic. Some of these places are just weird. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure some things out. This here. probably not gonna spend too much longer on this NTE game anyway. I gotta make sure I got some homework wrapped up. And, well, yeah, we just set ourselves another goal here. You wanna know how the good thing? It doesn't affect the money because he happened to be Austin again. And it's Merito Uzuni who nails it in. And now, after all that, we're going to be seeing some substitutions. Ramirez comes off for Wolf, and Biro comes off for Bell. Some bonker stuff here. Mild horror elements, press mute if necessary. Uh-oh, we're about to have ourselves some Resident Evil. Yeah, just during the Mild horror, I'll definitely show some things. Things about how horrifying St. Louis City is falling. Totally. Totally would be worth the whole thing. Apparently, the horror here is supposed to be mild. So, without this game is starting to occur in the second half, it probably won't be all that mild. If you know what I mean. They're trying to say clinic. But I just wonder how they're gonna end up pulling off the escalations. Yeah, I say this game is starting to look bleak for St. Louis. Yeah, just variety of stuff that goes on. But Durkin did get subbed off for McSorley. And there was a yellow card for Brandon Hines Ike. But you can tell the things are pretty much looking out of reach for St. Louis. Hello there, Mannequin. Are you here to witness this 2-0 score with a goal that just went wide? Okay, I guess nobody was interested in sports. Oh, too bad. We're covering the sports anyway. Best $100 bet. How much? Man, you, you call that a comeback? I call that a game that started out completely scoreless, looking to be a draw, just going back to be something. So at least gonna be something for Austin. I don't know if St. Louis is gonna even be able to afford some of this stuff. But there was a sub. Uzuni got subbed off for Vasquez. trying to see. It looks like it's 5 minutes of extra time. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna end in anything good for St. Louis. Torres did get subbed off, so everybody used their subs. And I think at this point it's safe to say this game's over. Oh boy, Daily Wire just lost people. Do you have wonder why that is? You think the fact that you think the fact that Ben Shapiro had to make a decision about laying people off ended up hurting his feelings? You think that might have done something? You think that he would do a better job at stuff? Oh, wow, talk about loving someone. Like, commentary's gonna, I love you, and I love you, and I love you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Quite the way to go about it. Hey there. And it's a little yellow card from McSorley. How lovely. Ephraim. Yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna be how they declare the end. That's it. It was the second half that ended up being what decided this one. As Austin is the winner. Go ahead and claim your $100+ Yeah, you just became a millionaire. Okay, no, not really, but you definitely made your money back on that one. You made your money back. Sure, there'll be some happy people over that. We'll see how many people over or at the betting strips of Vegas feel. But I think that's much for tuning into this one. It was a bold choice for me, but I don't know how well that went. But I might do it again. I might not. I don't know. But thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, travel safely.